Good evening. It is Sunday, the 2nd of August 2026, and it is coming up to 10 to 7. How are we? I do hope everyone is well. Just thought I'd pop on and talk about mental health and the effects of mental health, more importantly. Bring you up to speed with my own personal health and my own battles. Um, so, in March of this year, I lost my job with a company called Total Parking Solutions through no fault of my own, and I felt an absolute ridge of despair. I had left my previous job to go to TPS, and it was a case of I was happy, I was fine, everything was swimmingly, and I was fired over the phone at the end of one of my shifts, and I felt a huge flow of emotions. And in the last week, the there has been an incident which again has resulted in me losing my job. Although this one with Ocado, who are technically still my current employers, is all hell has broken loose because of what they have done. I'm not going to go into details. I will keep it totally professional on this channel. And also, it is an active investigation, and it wouldn't be fair to comment at this time. But on both scenarios, I have felt a wash of emotions. I have gone from being very, very angry. Where TPS were concerned, I went very, very upset. Where Ocado are concerned, people are going, "Oh, you're handling it well. You're handling it well. Oh, you're absolutely, it's not affected you." This is not true. It has affected me, and it has affected me a lot. I've put on what I call the war paint, the war paint. And there are people who know me very well, know that I am not fine. They know what is going on in my head. There are a lot of people, even people who think they know me, do not know what is going on in my head. So I have no motivation. I'm having to force myself to go out. I'm having to, once I'm out, depending on what I'm doing, there are times when I'll go out half an hour late, I'll get to my destination, I'll drive to my destination, half an hour later, I want to come home. Straight in the car, come straight back home. From around friends, I'm normally fine because it's a distraction, and that is the key point. It is distraction. I'm very lucky. I do have a lot of people who I can talk to, be it friends, be it family, be it professional people, and I am lucky in that fact. Not everyone is lucky as what I am. I when I got told that they were, terminating my employment last week, I went absolutely bellio. The poor person who was on the end of the phone, who I rung one of my very close friends, and I think she's got her hearing back because I shouted quite a bit, and I basically was moody. When we spoke about it later time, we spoke about it a couple of days later and she said, "I don't think you were angry." She said, "I think a lot of it was shock because you wasn't expecting it, and B, as far as you was aware, it was on the ball, and C, all you've been accused of doing is BS." As I said, I'm not going into detail at the moment because it is an active investigation. And when I say an active investigation, it is not an active investigation as in the police are involved, blah, blah, blah. It's the fact that I have got my union involved and I've now got HR involved and they were investigating it, and they would obviously get back to me and let me know if how I have been treated was actually lawful, not very true, or if they have gone against the company standards. And again, guys, if you find yourself in a situation where you have a problem, either you've been fired from work or you're having a problem with a professional company, make sure everything is in writing. And I say this a lot, and the reason why I say it is A, the pen is mightier than the sword. And B, if it's in black and white, there is no way your words can be twisted. There is nothing, no way in any way. And I'm, when I worked for a parking company 6 years ago, I started with this company and I was with them for 4.5 years before being made redundant. And basically, there were several times where the manager went, "Oh yes, but that wasn't blah 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 blah," and it was like, "Go back to your emails." The email was called BS23, for example. You used to hear a gun on a keyboard again. Right, yeah, so I found the email. Right, now read it. Oh, yes, you did say that, and you did say that. Oh, yeah. Because you have a record. Anything verbal is basically, it's your word against theirs. And this is part of the problem with my current employer. I still refer to him as my current employer. I've asked for copies of the notes, and I have been refused. And this is one of the things I brought up with HR. So mental health affects me majorly. Obviously, Saturday was a blur, was literally a blur. And then obviously when you slow down, you start thinking about it. It's like, oh, what am I going to do for money? How am I going to do this? How am I going to do that? That then causes your brain to race. Your brain then racing means that you can't settle down. Not being able to settle down means that you're not getting much sleep. Not getting much sleep turns you into a grouchy bastard. And it's a vicious circle. Same with going out. I've already said I have no motivation. I have to force myself to go out. And there is a case to say, oh yeah, but if you go out, you'll be fine. And yeah, sometimes I am. Sometimes, as I said, if I'm out on my own, I'll get to my destination and within half an hour I want to come back home. Because that's how it affects me. And I shouldn't be like that. It should be a case of, oh, it's a lovely day. I know, let's go to the seaside for the day. Let's go and play the penny arcade. But I just wake up and it's like, I don't really want to do anything. I don't want to go out. I don't want to do the housework. And that is one of the major triggers of depression. But if you pick it up, so obviously my housework, I have done some of my housework admittedly, but I'm not doing it with one hit, which I normally do. But again, somebody comes round and they go, oh yeah, but he ain't done his housework. He's turning into a lazy cunt. It's not a case that I'm turning into a lazy cunt. It's a case of I cannot do it. I physically can't do it. I sat here on Thursday of last week in this exact chair and I was doing stuff on the computer. I lost 6 hours. I didn't move for that 6 hours. I didn't drink. I didn't do anything. I just lost what I was doing. I zoned out multiple times. And it's a case of, oh shit. And I've done the same again this morning. I had a shower. And I thought to myself, well, I'm just going to have a couple of minutes on the bed before I get myself ready and go out. And I lost about an hour and a half. I didn't go fully asleep. But I wasn't fully awake, if that makes sense. And that's it. Excuse me, Padre. That is a lot, or again, that is another thing of depression, is your body is shutting down. It doesn't want to do anything. And it's like the other thing as well is it's like a case of you want to go out, but you're then thinking, but I can't really go out because I haven't got the money. Or it's a case of, oh, but if I go out, I'm going to be using petrol. Or if I go out, you need to get yourself out and about, even if it is for a 5-10 minute walk. Just get out of the house, otherwise you're going to get cabin fever, and that is no good to anybody. There is a saying, and it's been sprinkled around quite a bit, and it is a case of, I would rather spend 10 minutes talking to you than attending your funeral. And that is true. In a lot of ways, as I have said, I'm lucky. I have got good friends. I have also got access to professional help. I am very, very lucky. I am aware there are people in this world that haven't got it. I know for a fact that there are people in this world who everything comes caving in. Then they lose their job. They then lose their job, and their instant reaction is, I can't do this anymore, and they want to end their life. And the UK has got quite a high suicide rate because of how fucked up this country has gone. There has been lots and lots of cutbacks. And one of the cutbacks that a lot of people don't seem to realise, the NHS, yes, the NHS do mental health, but they don't do a lot. The majority of the mental health help out there is charities like Mind. Is one of them. It's a charity. Samaritans is another one. Again, it's a charity. And it shouldn't be a charity. There should be organisations which are government funded that you can go to. Hospital, like if you have a major mental breakdown, you don't OD or anything like that. You just have a mental breakdown, and the police deem that you can go to hospital. You go to hospital, you have to wait for the psych evaluation team to come out. That can take anything between 4 and 8 hours, if not longer. You're then sitting in A&E, and you've got lots going on around you, and it is overstimulating, and you can become overstimulated, and it could blow out of control, which then makes you worse. Making you worse then antagonises you more. When you're antagonised more, you play up more. A&E is not a place to go just because you're having a mental breakdown. There should be, yes, there should. What I'm going to say is, it's going to sound strange what I'm just about to say, but there should be a dedicated. I don't care if there is like X amount, if it's the same, if it's an extension to the hospital, or if there's only a certain amount in the county, but there should be a mental health hospital which has the facilities to deal with people, which has the facilities to do it, to save you spending 6-7 hours sitting in A&E. Because all you're doing while you're sitting in A&E is being ignored, because officially, as far as the doctors and nurses are concerned, there's nothing wrong with you. Because the staff at the A&E who deal with you in A&E deal with physical injuries. You have a broken toe, you have a broken leg, you have a broken wrist, they sort you out. You've got a broken head in relation to inside your head. And your head, your brain is like the M25 at rush hour. They can't help you. There is nothing they can do. And I think, and I'll be totally honest with you, I think a lot of the homeless people also suffer from mental health issues. And there used to be a charity in Maidstone, which is the county town of Kent, which is where I'm based, called Porchlight. And Porchlight used to do brilliant work for the homeless people. And the local council withdrew their funding. Now, Porchlight have got a track record of helping people out of mental crisis, helping them get themselves back up and running, and they've got about a 90% success rate getting people back into work. Now their funding has stopped, they can't do as much, and people are wondering why. And it's not just mental health, there are other areas as well. When you become an OAP, again, a lot of it is done via other organisations. If you go down with dementia, and I have done a video on dementia on this channel, but if you go down with dementia, a lot of the people that you will liaise with in the dementia industry are going to be charities. Yes, the NHS deal with you, but the NHS can't deal with it because dementia is technically in the same bracket as mental health because it's in your head. So yeah, it's not good. So what I will say, I will wrap this one up, and I will say to you guys, if you ever feel that you need somebody to talk to, reach out to me. If you've got me on Facebook, I'm on Facebook, or you can WhatsApp me, or you can message me. I don't know if you can message on YouTube, but get a message to me, and I'll quite happily have a chat with you. So I am going to leave it there for this video. Take it easy, guys. Look after yourselves and be good, and more importantly, look after each other. And if we look after each other, it will become a better world. But for me, to you, wherever you are, in the county, in the country, or around the world, from here in Rochester and Kent, wherever you may be safe and look after yourselves. Take care. Bye-bye.